Hey everyone, Kevin here. Look at this. I've got the PXN arcade fight stick. This was kindly sent to me by GearBest. Normally retails around $35, but there's actually a flash sale today and it's down to $30.99. Looks very good. You can see in the front here that it works for PC, PS3, PS4 and Xbox One. Not sure if it works with the Xbox 360. It doesn't say that it does. Product features simulation of the joystick and buttons from the arcade machine, high abrasion resistant steel joystick and long life action buttons, precise and durable. Use the joystick and direction stick or D-pad, depends on the type of games, button to switch. Turbo and macro buttons for more fun. 4 powerful suction pads make the product easy to fix. Need to connect original controller when used on PS4, Xbox One. Okay. Then we get the show on the road. We've got Chinese manual. If there's English in here, yep, there's English showing you how to use it. This is actually a wired controller, guys, so this isn't wireless. You do need to be connected to your console. And that looks like that's all there is in the box. We don't need the manuals, do we? Probably will, won't I? Okay, so this is it here. And obviously with, like all arcade joysticks, arcade controllers, they're very, very large. So, you can see the 4 suction cups at the bottom there. Bring you down a little bit. So, okay, what we got here? We've got an arcade style controller. If you grew up playing arcades like me, this is always going to be amazing doing that. You know, doing Hadoukens and fireballs, and which are the same thing. Dragon punches and all that kind of thing. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I assume that refers to, you know, like in the PS3, PS4, etc., which controller it's assigned to. I don't know what this is. D-pad. I don't know what that is. Turbo, macro, home, share. That's on the PS4. Options L3, R3. So that's, you know, I've not got my PS4 controllers are downstairs, but when you push the button in, these buttons are left stick and right stick in. That is the L3 and R3, I believe. So we've got L1, L2, R1, R2, and you've got your X, Y, A, B. And it's X, Y, A, B, but you've also got square, triangle. I don't know what that is. Is that X? Square, triangle, X and circle. The way they've done it isn't too clear actually when you see it. They've got this kind of weird scheme. But they've basically got an Xbox and they've got the PlayStation 3 and 4 covered. So, looks all good. It's not too heavy. It's okay. The wrist rest, sorry, feels quite good. You know, you don't feel like your hand is falling off it. Feels quite good. So what I'm going to do is plug this into my PS3 and I'm going to give it a blast on, what should I do? I've actually got quite a few fighting games for PS3, but I'm going to go with Street Fighter 4. It's a classic. If it works with this, it'll work with anything. So let's get the show on the road. Right guys, so I've got Street Fighter 4 on, and what I'm going to do is show you me playing it and talk about what it's like. I mean, I've just been kind of moving the joystick around and stuff, and feels quite good. I like the way it clicks and things like that. Definitely feels a lot better than what you'd be paying. Arcade joysticks are normally very, very expensive. You know, official ones can be in, you know, well over $100. So for $35 delivered to your house, it's actually quite a good price. So it's wired, and as far as the cable length, well, it goes from my PS3, which is sitting there, to there. I suspect it's about maybe 1 or 2 meters, I think. Probably maybe about 3-4 feet. It's not the longest cable in the world, but it's not too short either. I'd say it's at an okay length. You can get extension cables and things like that for USB cables anyway, so it's not a huge problem if it was too short for your living room. But I've got, you know, that's from the PlayStation to there. It'd probably go to the other side of the desk. I reckon it is about 5-6 feet. So, I want to put it on here. You guys can focus on the game. So let's get this show on the road. Right, start. Where's the start button? I'm looking for the start button. Alright. Now, don't know if you can see this in the camera, but this overhead camera is right in front of me. So if I'm bad, this is why. I haven't assigned the buttons or anything either. I want because I wanted to give you my initial impression, and that's not something you can fake. You can't do it and then go through it again and try and, you know, give off the impression that you're doing it for the first time. It's always better to record it the first time live, and then you guys can see exactly what my first impressions are. Just playing around with the buttons though, the buttons feel amazing. I really do like these. You know, this is what you would expect with an arcade, and the joystick is really, really good. Now, I could have tested this on a number of different games, but these kind of controllers are really designed. Oops, I'm pushing the home button there. I'm looking for a start button. There we go. These controllers are obviously designed for fighting games. You can use them for platformer games and old arcade games if you want as well. And that's something you could do if you want to run like Emulation Station on your computer. You could do that. But here, what I'm going to be doing, hopefully that's in the shot, is just playing through this. Okay, what buttons we got here? Right. I won't lie to you, playing this through with a camera in front of you isn't the easiest. Man, that wasn't pretty. I'll be honest, I'm struggling to see this part of the screen because of the camera, so it's really, really difficult. But as far as the controller goes, it feels really good. Okay, I'm kind of going just old school tactics here. I've not did a super in years. I can't even remember how to do it properly. It feels really good though. I mean, I've not actually suckered these down yet. So, you may notice there that when I'm playing it, you know, the controls kind of coming up a little bit. But that's because I need to, you know, put a little bit of water on these or some saliva or something and stick them down so that it sticks. Notice that bit comes up. So, see how we got on here. Oops. Man, that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. What I'm going to do is go back and I'll try a different character, see if I can perform a little bit better. Feels really good though. Oops. What button is it? Yes, that one. I'm forgetting that's the A button. Right, okay. Someone, Akuma. you notice that little bit came up. You can actually see kind of underneath there. I don't know if that's supposed to be glued down, if that's by design, I'm not sure. Feel that. Can you hear that clicking? Feels really well made. I must admit, that's really good for the price. This is amazing. Right. Honestly, guys, I can't stress how hard this is when you can't actually see the screen. Wait, I can't even see where I am just now. There we go. Don't let my bad techniques there put you off. There's turbo and macro here. I don't know if you need to assign those. Oh, was that lighting up there? Oh my god, I'm getting my ass kicked. Right. Firecracker. That was complete luck. I can't even remember what I'm supposed to do with that. I actually tried a double fireball with 3 punches, or 4 rather, like that. I ended up doing the firecracker. So, I don't know what happened there. So, I just played a couple of games of Street Fighter, as you saw, and, you know, I've not spent a lot of time with this. I will be, but by the time I've recorded this video, I haven't spent a lot of time with this. But I do think a lot can be said about the first impressions when you get a controller. You can figure out right away, do I like this, do I not like this, what do I like, what I don't like. First impressions of this are that this is fantastic. Really surprised at how cheap this is actually, because I've never bought these in the past, because I've always thought I'm not paying over £100 for a fighting controller. It's just, for me, as much as I like fighting games, it just isn't worth it. But I must admit, now that I've got this, this is fantastic. I really do love this. I think just because I've grown up with arcades and things like that, I really do love the idea of using this. Now, I had a quick look at the manual there, and it says that this switch here exchanges the joystick and the D-pad. So, I don't know what that means because there's no D-pad there. Don't know. I'm not sure if you can maybe replace that or something. I don't know what that means, if I'm honest. So, it's got a wired cable. It's about 5 or 6 feet. For most people, it should be okay, but you can extend it through extension cables. I didn't sucker these things down, so when I was playing it, you probably saw the fact that, you know, there was a few times I did that. But when it's suckered down on a table, which is kind of how these things are designed, then you're not going to have that problem. But, you know, you can just sit on the couch and just, you know, play it like that. So it's not an issue in that respect. You've got those buttons there, the L3 and R3, which is pushing down on the thumbstick. So in theory, you could use this for a lot of other games, but you don't have the dual stick, you know, for controlling. You only have the one controller. It's not designed for those games, though. It is designed for fighting games, and it works great. Now, I cannot stress how bad I was there, because I had this camera here that I'm recording with in my face, so I was kind of just looking at the left and right hand side, so I couldn't see. But despite that, and you know, it was just the whole arcade and nostalgic feel of playing arcade games, you know, with an actual clickable joystick with big large buttons. This thing is built to last. You know, I don't think there's going to be any problem with this long term. The only thing that's loose is that bit there. You see there, that comes up. I mean, and if that annoys you, you can just glue it down. I don't know if there is a chance that maybe they've sent me back a refurbished one or something. This was kindly sent to me by GearBest. So thanks to GearBest for doing that. I really do appreciate it. But there's maybe a chance they've maybe sent one that wasn't 100%. Look at this, the wrist part here though. It's really well designed. I have seen arcade controllers that don't have that. They just, you know, they just kind of stop there. But this feels really good. So, yeah, I mean, you can tell that I really like this. I really do. I think this is a really good controller. This is something I would highly recommend looking into if you do like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, any type of fighting game like that. Now, I have done a lot of other controller reviews over the last week or so, and I got 4 sent by GearBest, and I'll just lay out the 4 just now. Now, I have done reviews of all of these, but if I raise up. So, arcade joystick, great. Really do like it. $35, really, really good. The NES 30 Pro, I reviewed this the other day, and it's okay, but I must admit it's kind of flawed in many ways, and I was very disappointed with it. Still an okay controller, but my impressions of it was that it wasn't worth the money. The button, configuration with the shoulder buttons and these thumbsticks feel cheap, etc. It's not very good. This is very cheap. This one, it's $10. But after I reviewed it, I did learn that it can only have battery life for an hour or something, which is ridiculous. But it's actually not too bad if you keep it wired. It's, for the price, it's actually okay. But the PEGA one that I reviewed, if you're looking for an Xbox One style controller, this was excellent. So do please check out my review of this. But in this review, I'm talking about the PXN arcade control stick. $35, and as you saw at the start, GearBest have reduced it down to $31 for today, so there is bargains to be had. My impressions of this is excellent. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. I have enjoyed playing the game and getting to know this controller. Please do check out the description area below. I'll leave a link to the sales page for this so you can check out in more detail. But if you're looking out for a cheap arcade fight stick, something for your PS3, your Xbox One, your PS4, or just sitting at your laptop or your Windows computer, there might be a way to make this work with Mac OS as well. I'm not sure. But if you're looking for a way to play games like that, I would say check this out. This is a great little controller. It really is. Very, very impressive. Even more so when you take into account the price. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any questions, please do leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time, take care.